planning to go to the beach and show you the dunes I was talking about, but we have the storm approaching with thunders and rain and everything, and today we will do the lesson tutorial inside. And today we're going to talk about the yarn and hooks that I use for Irish crochet lace. Hi everyone, welcome to Irish crochet lace website and YouTube channel. And today I'm going to talk about the yarn that I'm using for my work. Mainly, as you can see, most of it's the Turkish yarn, but there is some Italian and some Lizbeth. I took the Lizbeth so that you can compare the thickness of the yarn, because there is slight difference between the Lizbeth and the Turkish yarn, and even within the Turkish yarn there is also a slight difference between the different brands and the size 10 thread. Okay, the most popular yarn that we have here is Yarnart Violet and also Maxi. It might be Maxi from Madame Tricote, or it can be Altin Basak. It's actually the same factory, but it is spinning yarn for under two brands for the different countries. So if you want to compare, it was really a surprise for me to find out that the Turkish yarn and DMC Anchor slightly differs in size. So I'm used to, like, normally if you use size 10, it's size 10. Being an engineer, so if you have a standard, that's the standard. So got two threads. As you can see, they're almost the same thickness. And I use 1mm crochet hook to work with it. And let me get the thread from Lizbeth so you can. This is also size 10. As you can see, if you're working with Lizbeth, you might see the difference. But I can tell you that it's slightly thinner than DMC and Anchor. Even with Lizbeth, you can see it's slightly thinner. I show how I test the yarn. If it fits inside the hook perfectly, I use this hook. But as you can see, this one is, the thread is slightly bigger. If I try to do it with Turkish yarn, it stays perfectly in. So for Lizbeth, I would use the size 1.25 or 1.5 millimeters. And for this one, for Maxi and Violet, I use 1mm crochet hook. There's also the new brand that just came up in our market. Well, probably it's been up a long time ago, but we just received it. Is the Yarnart Iris. It's also size 10, and I believe that it it's just the same. You can see fits in the hook perfectly. And compared to Lizbeth, it's slightly thinner. Okay, the next yarn that I use is the Russian. Apparently it says Italian, but it was made for Russia. Is Anna 20 and Anna 16. Anna 20 has been cancelled now, so they don't produce it anymore, and Anna 16 is still for sale. So with this one, I guess that would be size 20 compared to Lizbeth. It's size 20. Get the thread out. Again, it's in this time it's thicker than size 20. So I guess it would be somewhere around 15, 16. And this was Anna 20. And if we're talking about Anna 16, that would be something like proper size 10. Comparing to the thickness, that's size 10 Lizbeth. That's actually the motifs, the thread that I'm using for motifs. And I use Anna 20 for the filling, if I use Anna 16 and Violet, and Maxi for the motifs. The next thread that I use for motifs is Alize Miss. It comes in two colors. It's a plain color and sexually colored. Usually it's either 10 centimeter section or transferring, as they call it, the batik design. So you might have something like 50 meters of one color that slightly shades into another one. So it's very nice and very comfortable to work with. I use this for the scarves. Actually, this is the flower that I made. So as you can see, the center of it, it's the calendula, and you can see that the yellow part is actually the transparent zone from the blue into purple. So it goes from blue, yellow, orange, then purple. So I used it for flower centers, and the petals are made from the plain color. So the whole flower is made of miss. It's very soft, very silky, and I use the crochet hook number, it's a different one, two colors. Two hooks that actually have the same color, but one is 0.9 millimeter, the other one is 0.7. So I use 0.9 for Miss yarn. So that's it. Okay, the next thread that I also use, this is actually Mona Cotonex 5. It says 5, but it's definitely not 5. It's somewhere again like Miss or Anna 20, somewhere around 15 thread, 15 size. I also use this 0.9 millimeter crochet hook to work with it. So I use it both for motifs and the filling. So that's, as you can see, there's no brand nor anything, and I guess it's just the stock yarn that was spent for some designer, and then leftovers sold like this. Because using the same thread, the same brand, but Mona 8 is much thinner yarn. And if I compare it to size 20, okay. It's almost same thickness. So it's size 20. Even though it says size 8. So with Turkish yarn you have to be very careful. You might want to buy it and then just make sure that you got the right hook size to work with it, and test it first, just that I showed you before. Just put the hook inside the thread and see if it slides off. So this is size 0.7 and size 0.9 is perfect for this. Also, I wanted to show you again, returning back to Anna 20. This is how the motif from this flower looks like. The from this yarn. So that's the motif made from Anna 20, and it's a cyclamen leaf. It's actually the Persian cyclamen. It's got this kind of particular shape and colors inside. So once you do the filling around it, you'll see how it shows up. Okay. And here is the leaf that I made out of Anna 16. It's slightly thicker, and it's as if it was made with Maxi or Violet. You can see. Going to the back just to show how it looks in the work. You can see the difference in stitches in the size. Okay. The next thread that I also might want to use for motifs is called, I don't know, a leaf dentelle, which is a no name, no brand or anything, and it's also sized compared to Lizbeth, it's size 20, but it also comes with different spinning. Like this one is very heavy twisted, and this one is more soft and loose. That's the problem with the no-name Turkish threads. Anyway, they're nice to use. Okay, so the next one is Iris. This one is Yarnart Iris, and I use it both for motifs and for the filling. Filling is very soft and easy, very silky to touch. And the crochet hook is 0.7. You can see fits in perfectly, or you might want to use 0.85. They're also good for filling. Yes, it's perfect. Comes in different colors and nice to use. Okay, the next one is Altin Basak. As I said, it's the same factory as Madame Tricote, just a different brands. So, okay, back to size 50. Actually comes with 3 sizes, or 3 versions. I might even want to say 4 to take it into consideration the Madame Tricote. So with Altinbasak, they spin the thread in 20-gram balls, and it comes with plain and with lurex, with a metallic thread inside. It gives you a nice golden and silver shine. I use it for filling or working over the edge of the motif. And for this one, you can see they're using for motifs and the filling for more classic Irish crochet lace, or for the filling that I make between the flowers made of Miss and Violet or Maxi. That's it. And the last thread, I wanted to show these 2 packs that come actually individually wrapped. And as you can see, there's 100 grams, number 70, and this is what I've got, which is a size 50. Back in my workshop I've got more thread, which is size 50, 60, 70 and 80. And show this. Again, this Turkish size 50 is more or less related to, where is it? I would say size 30 DMC. See the thickness, or might even 20. As you can see, it's the same thickness. And I use 0.6 millimeters crochet hook for this, and size 80 Altinbasak Classic is more equal to DMC Anchor 60 or 50. There's always a slight difference between them. So generally, if you prefer to use, if you want to mix the threads, make sure you got Turkish thread is like 20, this brand, 20 or 30 numbers less than Anchor DMC. Same with this one. But it's nice if you work with all the same brands. So once you buy it, you buy like 50, 60, 70. So use 50 for the padding cord. Or you might want to use Miss as a padding cord. And then 50 for the motifs. And you use the 60 for, well, 70 for the filling, and then size 60 for the edge. We're working with crowns and everything. So that's it. And the last thing I wanted to show you is the Begonia. Begonia is actually a thick yarn, even comparing to Anna. It's pretty thick. So mostly I use it for the padding cord, or I use it for motifs if I needed something to make something very quick and quite quick and easy and not too expensive. So I make motifs out of this one, and I do the filling with the Maxi Violet. That is it. So generally you can mix and match. You can use the Begonia for padding cord using Violet or Maxi. You can use Maxi, Violet or anything with Anna 20. This one is a padding cord, this one is a thread for motifs. Again, you can switch back to Anna 20 and then this Mona 8. And once again, you can also work with size 50. So this is generally, I have about 100 kilos of yarn. So I always have something to match with the colors and thickness. So that's it for the thread and crochet hook. And before I finish, just wanted to show you the hooks that I use. You can see, except of this one, which has been a long time in use. Most of them, they have numbers. I'm going to show it now. Except of 9 millimeters. All of these hooks are the ones that I use for my work, for the threads. So you might want to buy them as well. And that's it for today. Stay tuned and see you next Tuesday with another motif for the Irish crochet lace. Bye.